I mean, it's what happens.
We got distracted by fan fiction. Sorry.
What? It's not my fault.
Welcome to Right to Be Wednesday. Yeah, sprints. And let's see. Will my lovely co-hosts like to introduce themselves?
I suppose. I'm Laura. My channel's Laura Nettles. I usually write all things spooky. The last 2 days, I have done nothing but read fan fiction, and it has been glorious. I have been in bed snuggling with a puppy while I read.
Oh, that's even more worries.
This was so
That's so
good.
fabulous.
Oh, I love it.
Fabulous.
Yeah, if I get productive tonight, it will be incorporating all my proof edits of Tiny Shivers. We'll see.
Nice.
So I'm Esther Andújar. I'm a Ortega writer aspiring to be a hybrid author. I sadly had not been indulging in any fan fiction, but I've been on a drama kick. I've been jumping between Japanese dramas and Chinese dramas. And also I printed the part 1 of Act 2 of the holiday romance because I'm like, I don't know what I wrote because I haven't really looked at until I started the rewrites. I think I spent a month and a half without even looking at it after Nano. So I'm like, I think I make changes on Act 1 that will mess up Act 2. So what the heck am I dealing with? So I did it.
Uh-oh.
There's, I think, close to 18,000 words here. So I think this is roughly 70 pages.
Nice. Yeah, I need to print out some stuff too. I need ink. But hi, and you're on my channel. I'm author JC Carpenter. Nick has so graciously done my intro for me. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Cause, I never know what to say. And yes, please make sure you just subscribe to everyone on the screen. Nia will be here. She's running a little late. Also, Shannon popped in before the stream to say hi and make friends with the like button. Thank you very much, Shannon. Hope you have a good evening. Hello, Regina. Hello, Cool Gamer. Hi, Bessie. Hello, Diane. And she says evening to everyone. Nick wants to know what fan fiction, Laura.
So I have read over 150,000 words yesterday in a continuous series of one fanfic that is Full Metal Alchemist crossover with Criminal Minds. And today was Criminal Minds crossed over with Avengers, Criminal Minds crossed over with Harry Potter, and now I'm just doing straight Criminal Minds. So, yeah.
Has me wanting to read fanfic because I love Criminal Minds. So
I'm close to open AO3 and be like, whatever. I don't need to work.
I was about to ask you how many episodes you've earned today, Esther.
I did not kind of like recorded the time that I've been spending on this, so I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just free for alling today.
Some days be like that. And hello, Cat Paw. Nia let us know that she will be here soon. As soon as I can click on the okay. StreamYard stuff. Don't troll me today. I'm only half caffeinated. I'm so intrigued by the idea of FMA and Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, so it's after the Promised Day and Brotherhood. Mustang and Ed get pulled through the gate and end up in, I think, Pennsylvania. But they're like in our world, Criminal Minds time period. Ed gets his GED, ends up going to college, and does a profile during a BAU presentation. And they're like, you actually helped? When you graduate, give us a call. So Ed ends up being on the Criminal Minds BAU team. and stuff goes crazy, and suddenly there's like doppelgangers from the other side, and like stuff is going down, and alchemy starts working again. Like, it's so fun. Anyways, yes.
So I guess I know what you're doing tonight, Laura. And Esther just told us what she's doing tonight. Well, maybe.
Hopefully we'll stick to that because I already opened AO3. So the cool thing about AO3 is you can subscribe to like specific project or authors. So I'm subscribed to a specific author, and I know she has been, or they have been updated a lot. And there's 7 chapters. I don't know how many long they are, but they are already over 200K words in those 7 chapters.
In 7
And it
chapters.
is, yes, and it is arranged marriage, strangers to lovers, werewolf, shifters, and I'm like, I dive in.
Oh wow, that's a lot going on. 7 chapters, 200,000 words.
Oh, I still haven't finished the 400K word fan fiction that I have.
Hold on, what's 400? Okay.
There are some stories that are over 1 million words in one story.
Yeah.
Get out! Are you serious?
This is why I feel very like I feel like I like Kindle Vella was pretty easy for me to start with because it's very much like fan fiction. It's just original work. That's it.
Yeah, Virginia wants to know, is that Bella? No, it's a fan fiction, right?
It's a fan
AO3
It is fan fiction. It is a K-pop band fan fiction.
AO3 stands for Archive of Our Own.
Yeah.
Oh, I was getting to that.
Archive of Our Own. So.
Oh, okay.
But that's why it's AO3.
Yeah.
And it's free. It's like
really
they managed it to be free.
And they have tags for all the stories, so you know what you're getting into before you dive in.
They run on donations, y'all. So if you love AO3 fan fiction, and you have some monies to spare, please help them keep fan fiction safe.
And this is where the Donovan's fanfic is? Or is this where the fanfic is?
Yeah, this is where my fan fiction is. Well, it is now because I'm from the LiveJournal times. So I am
fanfiction.net times.
slowly transitioning all of my LiveJournal fics to AO3, but you know, it's quite a lot of fanfiction.
I mean,
what's the one that I just downloaded? It is 111K.
That's a whole fantasy novel.
It is, but I want to bind it. It's a Harry Potter Full Metal Alchemist where Ed gets summoned by Death Eaters, and it's so good!
Oh my god. It would be under Linda White.
She has gold eyes, and only werewolves have gold eyes. Everybody's like, what the heck? And then, like, it's so good.
A werewolf? Oh, gold eyes. I was thinking.
The main character has gold eyes in Full Metal Alchemist, and so they're like, are you a werewolf? It's like, heck no! And then, like, try to interrogate him, and he just, like, breaks his own jaw to not have to answer questions. It's like,
oh god, that's very drastic.
Dude.
That's very drastic.
So drastic. It's great.
Yeah.
As he said, she'll be reading. She's going to read Nevernight by Jay Kristoff because it's due back to the library tomorrow, and she's only at 19%. But as fast as you read, you're going to finish that in no time.
Yeah.
So
I think we should go to a sprint because if you left Laura and I on check, we will take cover the stream just for fanfic talk.
I mean, I'm enjoying hearing about it, especially when you talk about.
I still need to work on my fanfic. It's been abandoned for over a year now.
Oh gosh, really?
Yeah.
Don't tell me about it.
It's a Harry Potter fanfic where Voldemort heard the whole prophecy and was like, oh, heck no. And blood adopts Harry Potter to be his son and trains him to be an assassin to take out the Order of the Phoenix. There's dual wand wielding, there's creatures, there's more like pagan magic going on. And
now we've swayed Nick from writing. Oops.
Yes.
By the way, romance is with the format. Oh, the romance is with the format. Yay! Nice. I know nothing about fanfic. I want a 101 too, please. Yeah, I know nothing either, but she said Criminal Minds and she had me at Criminal Minds. So I was like, oh, it's 433 pages. We'll have to see. Oh, that's a lot of pages. 19%. But you got
I believe in you, Essie. I
yes,
believe in you.
believe in you too. So we're gonna get into the sprint and then I'll pop up the actual first question of the night. Um
Is it a criminal minds question?
no, it isn't, but now I might have to rethink some things. Anyway. In three, two, one, sprint. That was spooky.
Okay.
And we picked up a Nia. Hi, Nia. How are you?
I'm good. I don't.
Uh oh.
He's frozen.
Uh oh. You froze. Oh
Come
no.
back, Nia.
Nia, come back. Oh, okay. What did you guys do during the sprint?
I read Criminal Minds fanfiction.
She always freezes so well, though. Like, I feel like we need another page.
Yeah, she praises in the most endearing, graceful ways.
Right?
I actually did some work. So I finished reading the scene that I was reading here and let myself some notes. And now I am doing some chapter kind of like scene cards for what I have rewritten. So I can somehow maintain a cohesive thing. And it's
Nice.
the thing. Plotters and outliners, unless you're very meticulous, you plot and plot and plot until the bones feels right. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't stick to I'm not a stickler for my outlines. I'm like, they're just road maps. And if I decide to take a detour,
Detour.
yay!
Yep.
Stay in the course is your problem me.
Lots of detours. Hence why I am terrified to edit. Um, I'm like, oh god, what kind of detours did I take? Oh no.
I am enjoying it because it's kind of like I have a puzzle where some of the pieces are kind of like crooked,
Mm-hmm.
or so I can be like, okay, you're not supposed to be here, so where am I switching you with that fits?
You're back.
Just start it over. Just
And you always freeze in the most beautiful, graceful way.
Yeah. You freeze smiling. You were like,
oh god.
No, it was so beautiful. I'm like, oh. I'm like,
I'm like, it just like shut down. I'm like, stop. Fortunately, it picked up really quick. I was like, oh well, please don't update. It didn't.
I mostly tried to decide whether I was going to continue writing. And then I went to heat up dinner, which is still in the microwave beeping at me. And yeah, so apparently I did not do much of anything on that sprint, but it's okay. It's okay. Nia, I was going to ask, did you do anything? But you were hanging out with your daughter, right?
Yeah, I picked up the kid, so that was productive.
Yes, very productive. You must do that. Carrie got 789 words. Nice, very nice. Essie did your Duolingo for the day and got to 25% of Nevernight. Moving right along, moving right along. There's some hellos, and I think we had Samantha Marie came in. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Joanne came in. Anna came in. And the question was, if I can remember, I can read it. If your current work in progress has an antagonist slash villain, how much time do you put into the development of that character? Do you believe in giving the antagonist as strong of a backstory as the main character? And I think and giving them redeemable quality. I can read redeemable qualities. Like I can read. That was a long question I gave myself there. So yeah, we'll get to my answer last. Laura.
For me, it totally depends on the story. On my middle grade story, the antagonist is the plant lady, the lady who is actually a plant that eats people. So, like, she does not have many redeeming qualities because the main character is a child and she wants to eat said child. So, conflict of interest is pretty hard there.
Nothing redeeming there.
Yeah, she does take care of her plants incredibly well. She sings to them in plant language. Yeah. So she's good at averting the suspicions of the adults, obviously, because it's a middle grade.
Right.
So, yeah, she doesn't have much of a backstory. Like, the kids find a magical book in the library that self-updates, and it has information in it about carnivorous plant people. And so the backstory that we get is basically just they exist. One was defeated this way by this person on this year, and one was defeated this way by this person in this year. And so they have to cobble together a plan on how to defeat her using what they know has worked in the past and what is at their disposal. And what they can steal from the police station.
What about the vampire romance?
She has antagonists for days.
I don't have one main villain for that one.
Yeah.
Well,
she has antagonists for days.
Nobody's
nice. Have redeeming qualities? Or are they all just evil?
They're not all evil. They're just
pieces of work.
Oh, gosh. Like some are bad. Yes, I will give that. Some are bad, but some of them are misunderstood.
That's fun. I think Esther, you gave your answer in there.
So Satan isn't a really bad guy, but
I mean, like Satan.
But then you have like this woman, and the dads are both pieces of work, but one is more a piece of work. Well, no, I don't know. Like, one will drain humans dry more than he needs to, like multiple humans. He just likes to binge feed, and has no respect for his son, and is like, "Oh, I didn't save you when you were kidnapped because I wanted to test your strength of character." It's like, excuse me?
What?
So there's a lot of traumatized people there.
The other main character's dad is in deep debt with some very high-profile vampires, and so to try and stave off the debt collectors, basically put his wife out there to,
what?
As payment. So he's a piece of work. It's just no bueno peoples.
Nick also has a comment about Victor's dad is definitely a piece of work, Laura. I agree with that.
Yeah. That's why I said, like, there's some people that are bad. Some other people are misunderstood. Some others are like, there's trauma. On trauma.
Esther, did you want to read your answer? Or you want me to read it for you? I can
read it. I spent similar times because my antagonist wants the opposite of what my protagonist wants. So in that regards, it's kind of like easy for me to develop them. But I do give my antagonist a reason to be the antagonist, unless I'm going for like the Marvel villains who are just like their personalities being bad. Then it's for the sake of having a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Oh, and Mia.
So yeah, I said I develop my villains and antagonists like any other main character, but not all of it will make it into the story, of course, and only what I need. And I don't think that they need redeeming qualities. Some of them have them, some of them don't. I don't think that they have to, because at the end of the day, who cares? I want the good guys. We want the good guys to win. I'm like, I don't need you to be crying for my villain. Let him be bad.
Also,
I mean,
if
sometimes you can, but it's not
also,
necessary.
I do have a question for the chat and the panel, the people here. What would be what would you think will be the difference between a villain and an anti-hero? Because I feel the redeemable qualities, depending on what are those, will make that villain more into an anti-hero than a villain.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's the redeeming qualities, and sometimes it's what their goal is. Like they feel like their goal is the good thing. Like if you're going to Thanos half the world because you think it's going to make the world a better place if we just chop off half the people, it's going to
Yeah,
be
and I
better.
understand
And
kind of
you, yeah,
reasoning, but he's still a bad guy because
That's a good question.
morally is not okay.
yeah.
That makes me think my question. Hold on. That's a good question.
Deadpool is an anti-hero, but
Yes.
I don't think he's a villain. Like he's not killing people willy-nilly like I don't know, retirement homes. So
Yeah, the kind of green. Who was it? Green Arrow or some of the people that go out and they're like, we're killing bad guys though. So, but you're like, but they're a business person. Yeah, evil corporate though. So that's who we're getting. It's like,
I think sometimes about like the Hawkeye journey to being running and back to Hawkeye. When he was going by running, that's an anti-hero right there. Like his reasoning was kind of like solid. It was morally ambiguous. It was not completely, I would say it was not completely bad, but it's kind of like iffy. Batman is also, I do feel he's an
Batman, I
anti-hero
think
too.
Also,
But then when he's like Hawkeye, he's like full on hero. Like he's doing only the good for the good.
Huh. That's a good question.
Yeah, a lot of mercenaries.
Like I don't think I've ever really, in my mind, I've never really separated the two, but perhaps I should have. Because now that you like say it like that, and like Batman, I would never consider him a villain, but he's not necessarily. But I consider Batman a hero.
he works outside the law.
He works outside the law, but sometimes you have to work outside the law to do the good thing.
Yeah, but
Also,
sometimes it's thwarting what the law is trying to
He
do.
works with people, right? Being a hero.
but also Batman movie is very different from Batman the comic. Like he is a lot more darker on the comics. He's full on anti-hero on the comics. He is made more palatable for the movie.
Now, do you distinguish the comics as different than the Batman show? Not the movie, but the show. Because I thought the show was based on
the Adam West Burt Ward TV show, or the Batman the animated series show, or
animated series.
Animated series. Okay.
The like Gotham. What's the number?
Gotham.
The name?
Yeah. Are you going with Gotham? Like what?
Yeah, and the thing is, like Gotham really was not made to focus on Batman. It was made to focus on everyone else.
In the show, I'm talking about the animated, like the original, like not original, but the
90s animated TV show.
Yeah. That's what I grew up on.
I still feel he's a lot more palatable. Like when it's for the
he's more of a hero than an anti-hero. There, it's more child friendly.
And that's too. What's good is a matter of perspective. So, because I've never thought of Batman as an anti-hero because he saves his one. I mean, he goes around, he might hurt the criminals, but he's going around saving the good people. I mean, like, I just always thought of him as a hero in my mind, but now,
Because sometimes, like, you see, for example, the movies, sometimes he does things that you're like, oh, those cops, they just died. And that's not morally okay.
Were they good cops or were they bad cops? Because
it's just a random cop, like they're trying to do their job, and because Batman is there trying to get the bad guy, they're collateral damage.
Okay, true, fair point. Huh.
So,
There's so much collateral damage in a lot of movies, though, because you see they run
Superman
through the streets,
movies, holy
cars
smokes.
are overturning, buses are getting thrown,
Buildings
things
are
blowing
getting
up. I'm like,
blown
there's
through.
people there. There's innocent people there. So, yeah. What about all those innocent people with those
I think
cars?
was the Man of Steel the one that they have like a 15-minute long battle just for him to crack his neck, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the dumbest fight ever. Like, how many people died when they were on those buildings? Like, I will say thousands of people died.
Avengers probably destroy New York like every day while saving the world.
And
Yeah.
funny thing, it's touch upon Jessica Jones series, and I think they touch upon it on Luke Cage series too. They got the bad brunt of it because again, superheroes save the world, but what about the amount of people that are clutter damaged?
Yeah.
And then you get
Huh.
the whole, like, the mom giving the photo to Iron Man at the elevator and, like,
This gave me something
collateral
to
damage.
Nick said, I think development of the antagonist helps drive the story because of the main character. If the main character's job is to take them out or whatever, knowing them is super important. I think having them as strong as the main character for sure is a good idea because it helps with the conflict. And I think if the story calls for it, give them a redeeming arc. But if we're talking about personal antagonists, mine is dog turd and does not have redeemable qualities.
It's fertilizer.
Diane said, I believe the antagonist needs as much of a backstory as the main characters, since it propels the story as much as the main characters does. True. Carrie says, I've put a lot of time into the backstory of my antagonist since they're a couple 100 years old, and their past comes into play on occasion where they have to team up with the protagonist. Interesting. Morgan says, I develop my antagonist the same as my other characters, I think. They all have complex backstories. Some have redeemable qualities, but others don't. I tend to like having maybe that makes them an anti-hero. Darn. I was like, I like redeemable qualities. Like, not to
redeemable qualities doesn't necessarily make them an anti-hero. Like maybe their redeemable quality is that they really like puppies, but they will kill everyone else.
I'm sorry. That was a funny redeemable
They
quality.
like Planty the potted plant.
Doesn't like puppies.
Yeah.
And maybe the redeemable qualities come with you understanding the background of the antagonist.
The Vulture in Spider-Man loves his daughter, drives her to prom, meets her date.
When I create a antagonist or bad character or whatever that's supposed to be bad, I like to have like not a woe is me story, but like there's a reason why they're this way. Like they're not just this way for no reason. I've never written a character that was just inherently evil. And even like when I watch soap operas, like I have people that watch soap operas with me, and they're like, "Why do you not like this?" You know, it's the bad guy because they like the inherently evil guy, and I'm like, because there's nothing redeemable about him. I don't like him because he's just strictly evil. I need something to like about them. Like I need something.
So the Spider-Man.
What if they have the backstory, they have the life story, they have all the things, but they're just bad. None of their backstory is bad.
Victor Cassadine on Hospital. Diane knows who I'm talking about. Victor Cassadine has absolutely zero redeeming qualities. Valentine, however, has redeeming qualities. I like Valentine. Okay.
I mean, sometimes, so for the people, and I'm going to include myself, for the people who we enjoy the evil just because they're evil, is because sometimes we do want to see people burn the world down.
Maleficent.
Like, yes.
I haven't seen it, so I have no idea.
No, not the movie. Just the character in the Sleeping Beauty movie.
Okay, yeah.
Maleficent is built just to be a bad person.
See, they told me the movie they give her like a redeeming backstory,
and I didn't enjoy it.
But Maleficent without that backstory still works.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
She was
It's like,
my
thank you for the
favorite.
backstory, but the movie and the cartoon and the book works without it.
So, for example, Ursula for Little Mermaid, we really don't know the true backstory of
And
why
I
she is the way that she
Is she
is.
But we love
Triton's
her.
sister?
yeah,
Is she
attention.
not?
Yeah,
Some
but it's so
that
enjoyable. It's so enjoyable seeing all of the bad things that she does,
And
and
she
it's almost
enjoys doing
enjoyable
it.
seeing her almost win because sometimes you just want to see those characters. You just have sometimes those characters brings what we rarely can do in the real world, which is just a catalyst for everything, every pent up emotion to just like get out and be done with it. So I think that's why a lot of people like evil characters just because they're evil.
Now,
So
while
I
I do want to know Ursula's backstory, I, however, do not ever want her to win. Like, never want Ursula to win. Oh, Esme. Now, hold up, real quick on a General Hospital tangent, Diane, because you know who I'm talking about. Esme, I kind of like what they did with giving her the memory loss because now they've made her redeemable. If they can keep her from remembering what a psycho ch she was, I might actually start to like her. That's all I'm gonna say about that
I
because now
predict she's
remember who
gonna.
she was, and she's
I
now a
predict
little endearing.
no. I predict she's gonna remember, and then whatever it is that she got from not remembering that she wants to keep, she's gonna pretend to not remember for longer than just to keep whatever it is that she's getting from the memory loss.
Because
Like
if she remembers,
personal
she remembers she's
relationship.
going to jail because she's going to jail for something. But if technically, if she remembers,
I'm not watching this, but just from
she's
what I know of soap operas, that's
if
my
she,
prediction.
but if she remembers, she's going to the jail for the minor thing, not the
And
murder. Not the murder she's been accused of.
then she's gonna go longer pretending like she doesn't remember, even after she does.
Yeah, I'm
Also,
memory loss. It's not fake. It's not fake right now. I do think in a moment she's going to remember and it's going to start to be fake. Right now, it's not fake. She genuinely does not remember. Okay, I'm sorry. Possible tangent. Sorry.
also, I wanted to like point out
Little Mermaid 3?
for
can't
I
keep
think
up.
there's like 3 or 4 Little
No, I know
Mermaid
there's
movies.
two of them, and then there's like, well,
The daughter.
they address Ursula in the Descendants 2 movie, I think. But is there a Little Mermaid 3? Did I miss something? Hold on, wait. Because I need to
So
know.
one thing that I wanted to like see if like people who like bad guys just for the purpose of being bad guy, could it be because sometimes the protagonist is not as likable as you could wanted it to be? Like you're not
Hmm.
vibing with any of the good characters. Because for example, I as much as I love Little Mermaid, I despise the decision of giving her voice for legs for a guy. Like,
Oh, okay,
no.
yeah.
So, and this is why I was like, I
You
enjoy
despise Harry.
Ursula's.
I thought you was about to say you despise Arrow. I was like,
So that's why I enjoy the journey we got to see from Ursula because I'm like, yeah, this dumb little girl did the stupidest thing, and we see another character who is bad, but it's making slightly better decisions.
I'm liking this too, Diane. Sorry.
So I wonder if when people like the really bad guys, could it mean that the protagonists are not as likable? They don't have to be relatable, but at least likable for you to want to root for them.
Is the Little Mermaid 3 the Little Mermaid Ariel's beginning? Where she
Yeah.
goes to a
Oh,
speakeasy?
see, I don't call that Little Mermaids 3. Okay, yeah, I've seen that. Okay. That's the prequel. Okay. I was confused. I was like, wait. What did I miss? Joanne answered the question and said, I give my antagonist the same care I give my main characters. I have a whole backstory planned out for Adri. I don't know how to
Adira?
Adira, my main antagonist. And see, that's why, because I know some people. Well, sometimes when I read books with an antagonist, it seems like there was no real thought given to the antagonist, um, and I'm just like, I need to like, can I feel some connection? I mean, not that I should feel connected to the villain, but like, are you just being this way just because? Like, is there a reason? I need some reasoning behind this. And yeah, I like backstory on all people. Um,
Right? Like she got warned, and it was like, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. My
what she
beauty will
told her was that
convince him.
but Ursula did not warn Ariel that she was going to take her voice and use it for herself to try to get the prince. That ain't what she told Ariel. Because had she told Ariel that, her decision might have been different. She didn't tell Ariel that. She did not give her all of the information.
It wasn't her job to tell her all of that, to give her all that detail.
That
I
was
know.
the backup plan anyway.
Yeah, she's done it anyway. Ariel was determined and stubborn. She wanted what she wanted.
She got what she wanted.
She did.
So
Well, in the Disney version, she did.
she didn't
Yeah,
become Seafoam.
right? The other version, the original version, not so much. My antagonists presents themselves as these kind, generous people while plotting behind everyone's back. Ooh.
Those are good
So
antagonists.
I have great fun with this in my adult sci-fi duology that I'm working on. It's on the back burner, but it's based off of Rogue One for Star Wars. So we have a solar system that's an oligarchy that's based off of a religion where they have these stargates that these Lovecraftian monsters can like whisper through, and so they're all
You
based
had
on
me
this
at
religion.
Stargates.
And some people were like, I don't want that. And so they head out to the Kuiper Belt, and they're in the outskirts, and they're a rebellion. And so the oligarchy's corrupt, and there's like secret societies going on, and the rebellion is trying to like take over the trade routes and stuff to hinder them. And it's like, okay, it's like the Star Wars rebellion, the rebels, like, yeah, they're the good guys. And then you learn some things like, they're not good guys. Oh no. It's like, wait, the bad guys are all bad, but they're still bad guys. Like, who's the good guy? So it's fun to mess with it.
No one is, because with Laura, where's the good people? Probably dead.
Well, there is human sacrifice, you know.
It's what we expect from our resident horror writer.
Yeah.
Is
JC
JC
is frozen.
Yeah, JC. Oh,
You're back.
Are you back? Oh, you froze smiling too, like Mia.
I did.
Yeah.
I went to go retrieve a timer. So I don't know what you just said. I did. Oh, I spy Roy. Oh, right there too. He heard his name. He came right in. What? Okay, what did I miss? I feel like I missed something good. What'd you say, Esther? Esther always has some good nuggets.
No, it was just like, hey, Roy.
Oh, hi, Roy. There are some reasons why Adira acts the way she does towards Lydia. Resentment, jealousy, and bitterness create a sympathetic antagonist of some sort. I like sympathetic antagonists.
Sam has not reacted at all to any of Lucky's words, Roy's wine. She's like, I'm not having it. Take it to something else.
I'm just here.
She is here slipping. She's like deep in her sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna pop up another sprint. If I can, don't freeze. Laura's new timer, one of Laura's new timers, the new moon tulip timer. Ooh. Okay, so hopefully you guys are ready to be productive doing whatever or reading fan fiction. In 3, 2, 1, sprint. Sprint for your lives. Why, yes. Yes, time does pass.
Barrett!
I think he might still be on a work call. He said it if he wasn't back when his friend ended.
Hmm.
How
So
dare he
let's
be productive?
stare at Riley's lovely face. How did you guys do?
I read more.
I figured that's what you were going to do.
It's been a
I
marvelous 2
did
days.
more same cards, and I rewatching some portions of The Untamed. There's just some sections in that drama that are so good. The writing is so good. The character development and the mystery is so good that I'm like, oh, I want to consume it again.
You use different color index cards too?
Yes, right now, this is not general scenes, but scenes that do not involve the love interest. But
Okay.
if it's a scene that a portion involves the love interest, I added a pink sticky note. If it's a scene with the love interest, then we go full on pink. And then I have another color for when it's with her mom, because that's
Nice,
an entire situation.
nice little color coding system.
It was
Yeah.
just put together haphazardly.
Yeah. You're muted. You're muted.
Like, yeah, obviously. I was going through, still rewriting my novel and just cleaning it up. Like, yeah,
Editing? You editing?
yeah, it was gonna be light editing, but then I was like, I just feel better if I just write it. I don't know why I'm like this, but I am.
It's okay.
It just makes editing. I have to edit in a different way so I don't get bored of editing. And I'm like, it's
Yeah.
just easier if I just rewrite it. I'm like, nope, change that around, take that out. Da-da-da.
I ate dinner for most of that sprint, and I wrote a paragraph, but I'm not going to count it until next sprint. I'm just going to tack that on to the next sprint.
Mm.
And what did you guys in the chat do? I did ask a question.
They were up to no good.
All of you answered.
They get in trouble in the neighborhood.
What have you found to be some of your biggest crutch words in your writing? Per my feedback that I got, really very just had. I think those are like the top 4 of my.
Gosh, let me find my official list that I got back from the editor.
Besides the looks, the stares, for some reason my character, not all in all stories, but my characters chuckle and scoff quite a lot. And there's a lot of like really just similar, pretty much just very filtery kind of like wording.
Right. But since you're
Mine,
oh Laura, did you want to?
I found mine. So I have an official letter from the editor with 9 crutch words listed out, and I found a couple more when I did my read through. So my crutch words are swaths, miasma, lerp, scritch, engulf, caress, appendage, bioluminescence, coalesce, ma, and inhuman vocal cords.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I do gotta say, I do in your vampire romance, I remember a lot of caressing going on.
Okay,
And I'm
but
like,
none of these were romance.
But that's a phrase that I've seen you use a lot, like the nails caress, like whatever the skin, leaving like red marks behind. But it's like I have heard it, and I'm like, yeah, caress. The other ones, I'm like, that's obvious specific, but caress, I have.
This, yes.
That Laura, did you see the conversation? Bird is like appendage.
They're tentacle monsters, okay?
Okay, but in all fair, like that, those are some of the most unique crutch words I've ever heard. Like miasma, that's a crutch
I was like,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
We are here with the just, the reallys, the looks, the stares, and she's like, appendage, miasma.
word, right?
Bioluminescence.
Really, just very appendage, miasma.
Oh,
What was the other one? The oh my gosh, was it bio? No, was it bio?
Bioluminescence. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a. I can't even say it.
Swath and engulf. Coalesce.
and goals. Yeah. That's
That-
so funny.
That is right. Mia, what about you?
Mine changed depending on the project. Like one project, like whatever my writing is, whatever I'm writing, that specific project will end up with a crutch word. So sometimes it's however, like I'll be saying something, however. And what was another one? I was trying to see if I had them written down somewhere, but I know however was one. There was something else. There's another one I used to use a lot.
We're not laughing at you. Mia. We're not laughing.
And we're not laughing at you, Laura. It's just how
It's
oddly
So true,
living.
though. I can't
Oh.
help it.
Excuse me, but I was wheezing here with that. How
I
many
like bioluminescence, and I hope I don't say it too much in a particular story where they occur. Now I'm going to have to go check. Thanks, Laura.
Like, I have bioluminescent moths in one story.
I just want to know what your editor
Yeah, I
wants you.
realize I have it in 2 stories
work.
now, so I'm like, oh no.
But I'm curious to know what your editor wants you to replace bioluminescence with. Like, what is there to?
Maybe describe them. I don't know.
Yeah.
sparkly?
I'm going to go back and check now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've used bioluminescence in 2 stories because they're very unique, and the way that they look is so pretty. It's almost like an aurora borealis for the water. It's very cool.
Regina said crutch words, but I use it for everything. My editor replaces it with and, however, nevertheless, although, regardless, notwithstanding. I'll put this list on my computer. Anna says, I feel like I have more of a crutch sentence structure than specific crutch words.
I had to break my sentence structure crutch.
Crutch
Because
words.
it was always like the blank blanked. It's like, I gotta break it up.
Mm-hmm.
Nick says, oh, for you, there's a phrase I can't think of. What it, oh. Carrie says, I don't have single crutch word. I know I fall back into passive voice a lot. That was a big comment from my line editor. At least I don't have a single word. I know passive voice is something I am actively trying to correct. And, uh-oh.
My characters not slowly.
Not slowly, or at least they used to. No words written. Oh, Joanne's telling me no words written. Just got back from running errands and just.
There's a couple stories where I describe the smell of ozone as burning lightning, but like, I don't know. It's like
Has
they're fine as individual stories, but when they're all back to back to back in a collection, it's like, dang it!
That
My crutch phrasing.
Campos says I will try to fit in my I can't even say it.
Miasma.
Miasma.
And bioluminescence. Next chapter. Please let me know how that goes. I really want to know what sentence that's used.
They're both in the same story in one of mine.
Yeah.
Really? The same story?
Uh-huh. He opens up a sarcophagus and a miasma of stuff comes out and it stings his welts and stuff, and then bioluminescent creature starts lurping out of the pond, and it has a bioluminescent anglerfish and Kachomp and Ragdoll and Ripping, and it's great.
But how many bioluminescent creatures you have on your stories to be a crutch word?
A few.
And how many
Laura and
hells
I aren't using bioluminescence in the same way.
Wait a minute, how are
Describing creatures that have bioluminescence.
I guess mine are creatures because of what they are, but mine are pretty.
I have air jellies that have bioluminescent patterns
Hers
in
are
the bells.
that are
Yeah.
scary.
I have
Also, how many hells were opening that you have miasma as a crutch word?
Ow.
Like, how many pockets
That
of
one
hell
throws
were
me.
opening, Laura?
What is
you?
happening?
A few. A few. Elizabeth said, I used to have more crutch words before school. That helped, but just still finds its way into most stories. I mean, certain
the other
words are just like, they come natural. My crutch words in my novel, Just, though, turn to looks at droop. Droop is an interesting one.
That is an interesting one.
Oddly specific, too.
Yeah, Regina also says I overuse so, just really very probably so I do an editorial pass to remove as many as possible. But I'm like,
Yeah, just and
I
so.
use a
Yep.
lot of just, really, and very, and when I read the sentence, it's like it doesn't add anything, cut.
Cut.
Like it reads the same way without the just, the really, and the very.
I gotta go back and see. Like, does that read the same way? It's like they feel so necessary at the time when I put them in there. Laura, I'm thinking about it now. How about glowing? Glow in the dark, neon plus a color, pulsating plus a color.
I think I do use
Writing these
pulsating.
down too.
Oh, my air
I'm
jellies.
like,
I'm taking notes.
I mean, for example, if you write something like he just couldn't get it, you could be like he couldn't get it. That's it.
get it.
But the just can be deleted out of that sentence.
Yeah.
And that's true.
I use reverberated so many times. Oh my gosh.
Reverberated. That's what the fuck. I'm going to come back to that. Okay. She's the
The
exception.
echoes reverberating off the walls.
Yeah.
An
I use
impact
reverberated, but
through
I
your
don't
chest.
think I use it too much. I'm gonna make a note of that.
Regina said the exception for me is in dialogue. We use those. Yeah, because certain words we use when we talk. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
like just and so.
they appear like crutch words, but if we're using them in dialogue, that's the way we talk.
For me, it depends if the character tends to use those words on their dialogue, or if the intention of the dialogue is they're being very direct. So I will try to cut any filter words because they want to be very direct. That's the purpose of their dialogue part. But for the most part, yeah, the just the really is the very can stay on dialogue.
Because, like, if you have a character that, okay, I don't have any characters that use the word like in every other word like most teenagers do. But, like, say you're writing a character that talks like that and they like every other sentence. It appears as a crutch word, but it's how they talk. Like, and what, like, do we distinguish? Do we cut the words just to make it not?
I think when it's dialogue, I think if it's dialogue, you only cut it if it becomes annoying. Like if you're doing it too much. Like there's one thing when you're trying to establish that this is the character's voice, but if you're using a particular word because you're like, I want to say that they say like a lot, but if you're using it to the point where even it's annoying you or annoying the reader, like cut it back some. It's like we get it. She says like.
Yeah,
So.
and on the narrative portions, you can take out the likes.
Yeah,
because
take it out on
honestly, when you think about it, you really don't use that many crush words when you're thinking to yourself.
I found an instance where I used bioluminescence.
Reverberated, stuttered, vibrated, shook the walls, beat against, pounded. Regina's giving some good alternatives here. Write those down. You say that again, Laura. You said you found.
I found a passage where I used bioluminescence. So I do describe it, but it says a light began to glow in front of the fish's face. Its bioluminescence a lurid green color like the sealed mist had been. The flickering pattern it flashed was memorizing, more complex and brighter than the air jellies. Frederick could feel his muscles relaxing, soothing even his twitching eyelid. His breathing evened out in sync with the pattern of the pulsing. So, like, I say it's bioluminescence, and then I describe it.
Yeah,
Oh, so you don't need both.
so that could be an instant where you can take it because for me, when you read it, I completely skip over the bioluminescent word because you describe
No.
what we were seeing.
Very.
Because if you give me bioluminescent, I stick to that. I already have a mental picture of it.
Like, some of my bioluminescence is green, some is purple, some is yellow. Like,
I write with a thesaurus pulled up often just to switch things up. I think I'll probably have a thesaurus when I go through the editing. Because
I have my thesaurus.com hidden on my Google uh page. What a
I do what you
because sometimes I feel like I'm just saying the same thing, and I'm like, I don't want to say it this way, or this is not just the right for the words. I'm like, thesaurus to the rescue.
right. I'm like, what's another word for this? And because sometimes I know that I'm saying something too much, but then I'm like, I don't have another word right now. I'm just gonna do it, and I'll go back to it later. Thesaurus when my mind goes blank. Yes, thesaurus is lovely. I love having a
yeah.
good
I love the
thesaurus.
thesaurus, but
Also,
do be careful. Sometimes using the thesaurus, you will get a word that's off, and you'll think, "Oh, this word's really cool," but it's not exactly portraying what you think it's portraying. It's similar but different. So sometimes, if it's a word you're not really familiar with, that the thesaurus gives you, you want to double check it by looking up
That's
that
that's why I
definition.
like the page on the website because it gives you a list.
Mm-hmm.
And if some and I will be like, oh, that could be it. Let me. I click on it and then I switch to the dictionary
Dictionary.
portion and read the definition, and then I'm like, oh, that's
Not,
not right. Let's
yeah,
go
that's
back.
not quite the right word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Regina says, "I am if I'm drafting, I use Siri. Thesaurus is for editing."
I use a thesaurus when I draft.
I
Okay,
do
we're
too.
gonna do one more sprint for all of those who would like to get those last little bit of words in, or reading, or whatever it is you're doing.
What? Read? Never.
So funny.
I am
Oh,
innocent.
are you though?
My
Are
phone
you?
is dying. It's like, dang it.
Oh.
I've been reading on it
Oh
so long
my
today.
God, no. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Gotta pull you back to 30. Wee. All right. In three, two, one. Run for your life. Read for your life. How did everyone do during our final sprint?
I'm almost done with this chapter.
Oh, carry on, carry on.
Someone's in danger.
Ooh, danger!
I just
I'm sorry.
I just watch more of the Untamed. It's in a really interesting part, so I was like, just have one scene card to make, so I will do it later.
Now, The Untamed is one of your shows, the dramas that you watch, right?
Yeah, it is a Chinese drama. The source material is more. It's still a Chinese. Was it a web novel, something like that? And it's supposed to be the source material. It is a boys' love, but the Untamed was shown on main TV in China, and they don't vibe with that. So
Oh,
the show is more like a brotherhood friendship kind of situation. Sometimes gets a little ambiguous. You're like, just with the right push, it will be closer to the source material. But the story structure, it's really good, really really good. So whenever I want to like sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to see this portion again, and I just go and to Netflix and search for the episode and watch it.
how'd you do, Nia? You're muted. You're muted.
I did good. I finished rewriting another chapter. So
Very
Nice.
nice. Like a whole chapter? You got a whole chapter finished?
Mhm.
What chapter are you up to?
that's
Curious.
chapter 4.
Ooh. How many chapters is it total?
I'm not sure yet. Once
Okay.
I go through it,
79.
The amount of chapters she has is the amount of tabs she has open. She's like looking
Okay.
at
What was tabs? Okay, tabs or
tabs.
okay,
Tabs in all browser windows.
Tabs in
combined.
multiple open windows.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 browser windows open.
Holy cow!
Well, one of them is just for StreamYard because I always have a hard time finding the StreamYard. So I always pull it
Okay.
out into its own browser. And then this tab has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that one. See, this is never mind. I was gonna say this is not a lot, but we're gonna skip that one. We're gonna skip that one too.
Oh,
We're gonna skip
It
all
means
of
they're
it.
like so small she cannot easily
Count them.
a number
They're on
like count
they're
them.
on the big screen, but the other 3 are more than 7. The one I counted was 7.
Oh, a 7-chapter story, eh?
Do you see like
And
a
then
little
the other 3 are
number?
more than 7. Huh?
Like, do you see like a little number at the end of the last tiny tab? Because there's a moment that you have so many tabs open that Google
A
Chrome
number?
gives you like a number.
mhm.
No, we're not there.
Okay.
We're at the fade.
there.
It just fades out. Like it fades out after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It starts fading out after 10. Like, just kind of like,
I have
That's where
10
we're at.
tabs open.
Wow.
3 emails, 2 fan
I need to-
fictions, 3 music,
See?
another fan fiction, and StreamYard.
See? I'm not
So
doing
Right.
that music.
currently,
But I only have one
Music.
browser window open.
What about you, Esther?
so currently, this is the lowest I think I had. So 2 browser opens because I have 2 different account opens. One has 2 tabs, and one is only StreamYard, and the other one has 2 tabs. YouTube
Wow.
and Notion.
I'm impressed, Esther.
This is the lowest that I had.
Say
in a
that's shocking.
Yeah, I think it's
You usually right up there with me.
Yeah, a couple of days I bookmark a lot of things and close them.
Got you. Laura, did you finish your chapter?
Yeah. Reed is in danger.
What? Not Reed? Why I gotta be Reed?
Oh yeah.
When he's not, he's always in danger.
Always in danger.
Yeah. It's
I
like
mean-
the easiest one to get.
It's fan fiction. He's not supposed to be in danger in the fan fiction. Come on.
Yeah, that's the point
yeah.
of the fanfiction.
Yes.
You're supposed to
fan
give him a break. Cut him some accurate. Always in danger on the show.
Breaks.
If I were to write fanfic, Reed would be getting kidnapped all the
Him or
time.
Oh
Penelope.
yeah.
Danger. Him or Penelope.
In fan fiction, you ramp everything 100 up.
There's a
Yes.
special subsection of fanfiction I love. It's called Wump. It's where you just torture the characters. Just put them through their paces. You break them down as much as possible so you can build them back up again and have all the feels.
Now I think I could think of a lot of things with characters through now.
Yeah, that in my side of the fan fiction is called Her Comfort.
Yeah.
And I usually look at the workout. If it's too long, I'm like, no, I'm not ready to get home with this long.
Oh well, Reed isn't my fave on Criminal Minds, so that's not my favorite. JJ is my favorite. JJ is my favorite on Criminal Minds. Well, before he left, it used to be Morgan, but JJ is my favorite. HCO.
Also, the other purpose of writing fan fiction is like when you're so in love with a character or with a celebrity, you just want to like vomit your love. That's also great.
So I should write fan fiction about Idris Elba then.
Yeah.
Just vomit my love.
So inclined.
I
I don't usually write fan fiction about real people because I don't know. That's just a me thing. But
he plays characters in different movies. I mean, I could write
characters. Yes.
You would pick a character.
he plays.
But
But
like,
y'all
Yeah,
know
you
it's
pick a
about it.
character.
Y'all will really know it's about Idris, the man.
I don't totally mind. I don't write about every single celebrity. I think for K-pop it's easier because they have such a curated image.
person.
Yeah.
Because the groups have concepts, so they have to fit into that. So they're acting by relation.
Almost like reality TV, kind of.
Yeah, like
curated,
there's some
they have their
things that
real
are
personality.
them. Yeah, there's some things that are them, but a lot of it is to fit the image of the group and the image that the company built for them. So it's a lot easier to just like typecast them. Like if I want to write a Friends to Lovers, I have a couple of different people in different groups that are great for that because they have that kind of like chemistry already in the group. So I'm like typecasting idols for what I want to write.
What's funny is when the characters meet the actors in the fan fictions. It's like, wait, what? Loki meets Tom Hiddleston. They go out to lunch together and have a therapy session.
I like.
This sounds interesting.
Yeah, fan fiction is infinite of possibilities.
I see that. I've been missing out.
There's a common trope in the Avengers one where they set down all the Avengers and make them watch Iron Man 1 so that they have better respect for Tony.
And with that, I think it's time to say goodnight. And
Oh, you didn't ask what the. Oh, were there no comments?
yeah, I did. Oh gosh, you know what?
Was there a last?
I don't know. There might not have been.
Was there a
I
what?
don't think a last question. I don't think that's been had any question.
There wasn't a third question. There were some good nights though. Nick left. And I think that was it. Oh, and Essie said that she decided to DNF the book that she was reading.
Was she the one reading Nevernight?
Yes. So that wasn't
Yeah.
job.
I didn't want to say anything because I never want to ruin anybody's reading experience. I DNF'd it also.
I don't read
She said
anything.
Nevernight. I was like, oh.
I I don't read anything J. Craig or read.
I don't even know who that is or what that book is.
Yeah,
No.
I
Not
started it
yeah.
before I knew about him, and I still
You don't
delisted
even
it.
know. You're good.
Now I won't pick up anything from him now. So
I've heard the
Yeah.
title before.
yeah,
I had
Is
never
it a
heard.
I
middle
saw
grade
it.
or an adult?
So I
not
when
for
it
me.
released, I saw the cover and it was kind of like interesting,
Mm-hmm.
but I
That's
wasn't like it felt like there were other books similar to that I was more interested in. And then the whole debacle, and then he comes with vampire, whatever, Empire the Vampire, whatever, however that calls. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, thank you, no.
yeah.
Thank you, next.
Oh yeah, Catpaw. I did start a comment that Catpaw had made that I thought was a good. She said my rule of thumb regarding the crutch words is if it's a word I have to look up, I probably shouldn't use it. Well, I mean,
Well,
there.
English is not my first language, so I have to look up a lot of things.
Oh, good night, Diane.
Thank
And with
you.
that, since I don't think anyone gave an update in chat other than Diane. Diane said she read her Duolingo and read that sprint. I mean, she did her Duolingo and read that sprint. Um, Anna had commented that as a writer of fan fiction, I think 90% of the purpose is to hurt your faves as much as possible and then make it better.
Exactly.
Don't hurt JJ. That's all I'm saying.
Ah! Oh, she goes through so much
Oh,
trauma
no.
and Reed gets kidnapped when she's with them. Like, yes, all
No.
the blame.
Okay.
Goodness.
That, friends, we're going to say goodnight. Outros, we'll just do it the same way. Laura.
I am Laura. I'm addicted to fan fiction yet again. I usually write all things spooky. My horror collection should come out in May or June, so keep an eyeball out. It goes to the formatter in March, so hurrah.
Ooh, nice.
Hi, I'm Esther. I do stuff on YouTube. I write things on Kindle Vella, Coffee, and Patreon. I'm trying to rewrite and revise this holiday romance, and I'm also very much in deep on my Asian binge watching drama. So there's that. Yeah.
And I'm the Vixen of Fiction on all of the interwebs. I host Scripting the Book on the 19th. We're doing Hidden Figures, so come join us for that. And then on the 25th, we have Author Tubers React, where we're going to talk about things going on in the bookish community. Esther is one of my co-hosts for that. And other than that, I host writing streams on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, so you can come hang out with us and get more things done or just chat, whatever you want to do. That's just me.
You want to
And
do
this
Barrett?
is Barrett. This is Barrett. Barrett is changing up his channel, but he hangs out with us whenever he can. He does AuthorTube karaoke with Margaret Pinard. They alternate channels, and he has a writer's room that he does with Tiffany and Morgan Lee. But check out
And he
Barrett's
has
channel.
Group Life, CGL,
And
too.
CGL is having a contest coming up, so stay tuned for all the things about that. Yeah.
I think CGL also might be doing a stream this Sunday. I'm not entirely sure about that, but
Is it this
Think
Sunday?
so. I just don't know the. Let me. If he has
just
schedule, I'll put it
subscribe
in.
channel so that you can get the
Yeah.
notifications whenever he decides to go live.
That part.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And I'm author JC Carpenter. I have books. I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays. I live stream on them every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, yeah, I think that's it. That's me. And thank you for joining us tonight. And I hope you were productive and that you got some things done. And I hope we see you again next week. Bye.